Yo, everybody, what's going on? Um, this mic is so close. Um, Hope y'all are all having a great day, great evening, whatever time it is for you. But it's currently about 6:45 in the morning for me, and I've been enjoying making these YouTube videos. Like, this is the first thing I do in the morning after I finish my little morning routine and make my coffee, is make a YouTube video. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this just every single morning. I sort of enjoy it because it sort of primes my mindset for the rest of the day. I start my day off talking about what I'm learning about mindset, stuff like that. So I enjoy it. Um, I genuinely enjoy making these videos. Like I enjoy talking to the camera. Maybe I help out one person, and even if I don't, then the next video, maybe I will, and if not that one, then maybe the next. So anyways, today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about the world mirror and the boomerang. Those are both principles in transurfing, the world mirror being the world is a mirror, and then the boomerang being anything you put out into the world will come back to you, both good and bad. So I'm gonna just probably read a couple things from the principles. I don't want to make this into like a transurfing review. Like every morning I'm just reading something from transurfing. But this one I really wanted to talk about. So, the world is what you think of it. The world is a mirror that reflects your relationship to it. I'm just reading the things I've highlighted. I honestly don't have much highlighted. It's this over here. It says, when a person is convinced that all the best things in this world have already sold out, their shelves will remain empty. When they think that buying a high quality item will mean standing in a huge queue and then parting with a large sum of money, then that is exactly what will happen. If a person's expectations are pessimistic and riddled with doubt, then they will be undoubtedly justified. This I have highlighted. If a person expects to meet with an unfriendly environment, their misgivings will be proven true. However, when a person is imbued with the innocent thought that the world has reserved the best in life for them, this also works. That's what I wrote. I wrote that down in my journal last night. This was my journal last night. I just did the entire page. Um, from where you see this line skip, that middle paragraph on the page was all about transurfing, and then this was all when I had read in my Bible. So I like to just journal as I read, and I'll just copy down the sentences. I'll write about how I'm feeling about it, or for example, here it's talking about, the world mirror, stuff like that. So I'll write down sort of what I want, to be reflected. So if I write, maybe, you know, I expect the success that I want in my life to come easily and sooner than I expect. That's an example. So, yeah. But the thing about this is your mind, this can change. Like, you can have such a positive lookout, of the world. You can be doing great, just having positive mindset towards this and looking for the best and expecting the best. But this can also change, so don't think that if you're doing this that it will last forever. It's going to be a challenge to constantly keep your mind fixated on the positives, on a growth mindset, on an abundant, sort of view of the world, because there are things that can change your view of it. But just be aware. If you're aware of what's going on, then you'll be able to stay sort of on track And don't get so scared if you do find yourself going more down a negative path. Um, Dude, it's life. Life has ups and downs. Like, you're never going to be in an up state forever. It is impossible. It's just, it's not going to happen. There's up, down, left, right. Everything has a net positive and a net negative. Like, everything is in this pattern. So, next, the boomerang. The boomerang basically explains that anything that you put out there is going to come back at you within this with the same, I guess, intensity. You could say intensity. But whatever thoughts you send out into the world, they will return to you like a boomerang. Um, it just gives an example. What happens when you hate something? You put your heart and mind into a sense of hatred, and this clear, sharp image is reflected in the mirror and fills the entire layer of your world. As a result, you get even more worked up and increase the power of your emotion. In your mind, you feel like sending everyone to hell. Get lost, the lot of you. But the mirror sends the boomerang back. You tell everyone where to get off, and life sends you there instead. Beware of sending negative energy into the world mirror. If you do, you will receive the same response totally unexpectedly. By the way, love is also a boomerang. So yeah, I used to do this a lot. I was a very negative, angry person and was constantly spewing out negativity into the world. Growing up, I had a very victim mindset, extreme victim mindset. Like, I was the guy who was like, why is this happening? Things like that. But it was through those things that I went through and me saying that so much that I finally learned to not do that. um, but yeah, man, not only do your thoughts have. I was talking with my mentor and he was talking to me about this new way that I've never thought about sort of thoughts, and that your thoughts have energy. Um, how did he explain it? That your thoughts have energy, and I'm not even gonna lie, I forgot. But I'll ask him about it and learn more about it again. Because I really like the way that was put, and it was sort of a new insight on thoughts and stuff. Let me see if I reread this, maybe I'll figure it out. No, it's not coming to me. That's alright. Anyways, continuing, it says, adopt a new rule. Don't look in the mirror, peek in the mirror. Seek out the positive and ignore everything else. Pass everything you see through this filter. Concentrate your attention on the thing you want. This is super important, and this I have written down as well. Don't constantly look into the mirror and try and find all the negative, because if you look in the mirror and constantly look for the negative in yourself, that's what you're focusing all your attention on. What you focus on is what will be. I guess you could say that. If you constantly focus on the negatives, if you constantly focus on what's wrong, on what's happening to you rather than what you're controlling, that's going to be the only things that are there. It's the same analogy with, or same thing with the cars on the road. Until you start looking for red cars, you see so many of them. Whatever you focus on is what is going to mainly be happening. If you're constantly focusing on negative things, guess what's going to most likely be happening throughout the day? Negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative interactions, um, things like that. So seek out the things you love, and at the same time picture the desired image in your mind. From now on, all you do is seek out and find signs that confirm evidence of positive change. Excuse me. You'll find that things will get better and better with each passing day. If you practice this regularly, it won't be long before your jaw will be dropping in amazement. That I really like as well. And that is a daily practice that I am picking up right now, is constantly seeking out things that are moving me forward. So like yesterday, for example, me, you know, like I got a cash buyer to message me back. Most of you probably have no idea what that means, but I had somebody that I need to I had one of the people that I need to talk to me message me back, and even though I don't know if he's like finished signing the form and stuff, it's like that is evidence of change, of positive change. That's evidence right there. And whenever you start picking up, even if it's the most minute things, like, you know, instead of reacting to this thing negatively, you reacted positively. You didn't let, you things like that. It can be super small things, and those can all be that's all evidence for positive change. And at first, you're not really going to be able to realize those things. Like most things, especially when it comes to mindset, it's daily practice and it's very slow progress. But dude, like, I guarantee within, if I do this or you do this for a week straight, dude, all day, all you're going to be thinking about is right there. That's a positive change, and then you're going to always be thinking, since you're always going to be thinking about how can I find evidence for positive change, you're always going to be trying to do things that result in evidence for a positive change. So you're probably always going to try to be, reacting positively or differently towards certain situations. You're maybe going to want to work more so that you can have more evidence of positive change in your business or things like that. So this is a really good one. The boomerang and just your focus. Seek out the things you love and at the same time picture the desired image in your mind. From now on, all you do is seek out and find signs that confirm evidence of positive change. Yeah, I think it's sick. I think it's crazy cool. But yeah, just want to read that to y'all. This video is probably going to be similar to last video, not super long, not super short. Let me see if there's anything that I wrote out of the book in my journal, because like I said, I'll read the book and I'll just journal. Either I'll journal sentence for sentence, just so I remember it. And for me, journaling is like the ultimate way to remember things, and I think it is for most people. Like, and then I have to journal it every day. Like, I have to make sure I keep up with, like, that's why I'm making a video about them, about these two principles. That's why I wrote about them. That's why I'm going to continue to write about them, because these are two principles that I really want to keep on my heart, or in my mind, I guess, whichever one. Yeah, I'm just reading through here. I just like, after I had wrote sort of the sentences from the book, I wrote, I will focus my attention on the things I want. I seek out the positive and ignore everything else. I will tune my ears to understanding and wisdom. I will follow the path of the right. This is where I started writing about stuff in my Bible. I will tune my ears to understanding and wisdom. I will follow the path of the righteous man and stay on a righteous path. Fear of the Lord is the start to gaining wisdom. And yeah. You see, you notice how I always am writing, I will, I will, I will. Sort of priming myself that, like every morning I start my journal entries. So each night, when I go to do my journal, which starts right here, this is journal. All right, I am grateful for ... All right, 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 things. I just write them out, and then I have an I am. I write this I am the night previously, and then I just continue it with whatever is on my mind that morning. This morning I wrote, I am a part of God and He is a part of me. I have access to the most powerful being in the universe. Use it to your advantage in a good way. And then I started writing, I am disciplined. I connect with other wholesalers and cash buyers to sell wholesale contracts. Like, just writing out I will do this, and just constantly priming my mindset towards action rather than just, mental masturbation, and just saying these things. Because I mean, you can say I am and still not do the thing, and us as humans, we feel just as much dopamine from saying something because our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. So whenever you say I will be successful, that almost has the same amount of dopamine as when you're actually successful. So you have to be careful with, just writing these things out and not actually taking any action. Action is the only thing that's going to change anything. Like, if you're not moving your body towards the thing that you want or towards the success that you want, nothing is going to happen. You can't think your way to success. You can't, you need to actually be doing the work. So, but yeah, I feel like these videos are just sort of all over the place every time. I'd put in the description of my last video that I want my communication to be better and be able to convey ideas a bit more clearly. Usually when I want to learn something like that, I'll just ask ChatGPT, which is probably what I'll do. But there was this cool podcast that I was watching about body language. I literally got 3 minutes into it before I just changed it because I had to do a bit of work. But it was by the guy, I forgot his first name's like Steve or Steven. The Diary of a CEO, his podcast. He did one with the lady, I forgot her name. And I thought it was super interesting. I had wrote something. If you have incredible relationships and are able to communicate your ideas so people like you and they listen, your life can change. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Maybe my life will change if I can communicate great. Who knows? Anyways, that's going to end today's video. I'm going to get to work on something, probably just looking at Facebook groups. What are you working on today? What's going on in your life? Are you thinking positively? Are you thinking negatively? Are you running towards a goal? Are you just drifting in life? What's going on with you? Sometimes we need other people to ask us questions for us to get the answers to certain questions, because we don't ask them ourselves because we don't like the answer and we just avoid it. So, are you actually doing what you need to be doing? And I ask these questions not only for you, but for myself also. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Peace.